So this is for all the categories. So earlier we had to do 3-step process to find out mean for the C, which is this. And now with the T apply, it takes 3 variables. The last is which statistic you want. You want mean, max, min, whatever you want, we can. So let's say I want a max, I can do max here. It will give me max for all the categories. This is like what is the pivot. So pivot means ABCD. I want to do it for all school category. And this is for which marks you want to do. You want to do for composition, or you want to do for colors, or you want to do for any other metric. So T apply is the function that basically can give me the sample statistic across all the categories. Now it's the time for quantitative data. So we are going to use another data set for the quantitative data. There's a data called Faithful, which is by default available. Let's see. Faithful, right. So head means, right, you remember head means it will give us the top 6 command. If you want to see top 10, then you can do head 10. So Faithful is a data set which is having 2 variables. One is eruption, one is weighting. So eruption is how much duration that particular, this data set is about eruption of the volcano. So eruption, for what duration the eruption had came, and what was the waiting time for the eruption to came. So basically for us there are 2 variables. One is eruption, one is waiting. Let's quickly plot the frequency. So remember the earlier frequency distribution, we didn't have to do any breaks or categorization because it was already a category. We just got the frequency and we plotted that frequency. But here it's not straightforward. So let me capture eruptions in a variable called duration. Right. So what is breaks is, so breaks, what it does is it generates a sequence. Breaks is a variable that we are creating, and it's a sequence that starts from 1.5 and it goes to 5.5, and all the margins are between 0.5. So yeah, so let's see what breaks constitutes of. Yeah, so this will actually help us in categorizing things, right? So when we are doing a plot for eruption, then we know that we need to do a plot between this and this, this and this, this and this. So this is how we'll create the category to do the bar chart. Okay, then we are so duration, from duration I'm cutting the duration variable. Duration is nothing but eruption. I'm cutting the duration variable based on the breaks, and breaks that we have decided is 0.5, and break holds this whole values. Yeah, so duration dot cut is the automatic cutted file, and let us see what is the frequency. Yeah, let's do a cbind and see. Cool. So what it does is, what it has done is it has taken the categories automatically and it has done the frequency for us. So this is how we can take a numerical data, convert it into categories, and generate the frequency table for the same. And similarly we can do the histogram as well, and this is the histogram. So we have the histogram. They have automatically broken this down into multiple category. This is auto broken, but if you want to break it manually, we can also do this. Let's plot the relative frequency. So this is the chart for relative frequency. Relative frequency is the proportion of these values. Let's quickly see the cumulative frequency also for them. So this is the cumulative frequency, 51, and then 92 is basically 51 plus 41, and then 97 is 92 plus 5. So cumulatively, so 95 represents all the values which are between 2.5 to 3. 97 represents all the values which are less than 3. So far, so 97 is summation of everything before this window. How do we plot it? The cumulative frequency, because it cannot be plotted in the histogram, because we want to plot it in a line chart or in an area curve sort of, where we can see that how much area or how much line curve is increasing or cumulatively increasing. So let's create a variable. So using this set of code, I am creating another variable called comfreq0 that holds all the cumulative frequencies for me. And this is the syntax to plot the line chart. So it takes the breaks. Second is it takes the actual values of cumulative frequency. this is the main title. This is these three are labels and titles, and we can plot it using this. So let's use this function quickly. So this is the function. This was the description of function. This is the function. So we have a line chart for cumulative. So this is how it is increasing. So this is a very steepness after 4. So 4 to 4.5, there's a lot of observations being added. Also there's a steep here, there's a very flat structure here. So between 2.5 to 3, very less number of observations being added. So the cumulative frequency plot is there. We can add it using lines. I think this is the function. Yeah, so instead of dots, now we have a line also. Cumulative relative frequency. Yeah, so these are the commands, basically the same commands that we are running from the frequency perspective, and we can plot it again. So now we move to the next section where we want to plot the stem and leaf plot. So first let us understand what is the stem and leaf plot. So stem and leaf plot of the quantitative variable is the textual graph that classifies data items according to their most significant numeric digits. In addition, we often merge each alternating row with its next row in order to simplify the graph for readability. So as the name signifies, there would be a stem that will give you a main data, and there would be a leaf that will give you whatever are the variations occurs from this stem. So let us quickly plot it and then feel this stem chart. Stem is the function through which you can plot the stem and leaf chart. Yeah. So there are different values in the data set like 16, 0, 16, 7, 60 and like this. The decimal point is 1 digits to the left of bar. Yeah. So for duration, so this is 1.6 basically. That's what they're trying to say. And these are the values after decimal. So this is the stem and leaf chart that can